Today is an exciting day because Logitech just released their new flagship mouse, the Logitech MX3. So if you're not familiar with Logitech's lineup, more specifically the MX series, these things are built for productivity. It's really great for coders, designers, people who use spreadsheets, or multitaskers who just like to, switch windows all the time. This is the third version of the MX lineup, and it's very similar to the second one. They're pretty much the same thing, except this one's more fine-tuned and just polished up overall. Alongside with this mouse, Logitech also released their first generation MX keyboard, which is really exciting because that thing is made for productivity, and I'm really excited to see what Logitech has to offer in the keyboard. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and stay on the lookout for that. Also, make sure you guys watch till the end because I'm going to be showing you guys how I use this mouse and my personal workflow. So when I received the package, here's what was included. The mouse, of course, the USB to USB cable to charge the mouse, a dongle for wireless connectivity, and the instructions manual. Let's start with the design and the build quality of this mouse. It is very similar to the MX2 in terms of its overall shape and functionality, but they did change some things up. One of the things they changed up is the scroll wheel in the front here. The scroll wheel is not made of gears, it's actually built on a magnetic system, which basically means you can scroll a lot smoother and faster during your workflow process. Another thing they changed in the MX3 series versus the MX2 is the button position for the backward and forward buttons. Previously, it was behind the scroll wheel on the side here that made it a little bit uncomfortable to reach, but now they put it right under the thumb rest, which makes it a lot easier to quickly access those buttons, which is definitely a good upgrade in my opinion. I'm personally a bigger fan of this mouse here than the previous version. I like this slim, modern, sleek line design they created here versus the MX2 version, which had like this diamond shape pattern. I thought that looked pretty cool as well, but I personally like the newer version much more. The only thing I'm not a fan of with the MX3 is the gesture button position. It seems like it's a little further down, which makes it a little bit harder to reach. And I feel like I really have to emphasize on stretching my thumb out every time I want to use the gesture shortcuts, which is by no means a deal breaker. It's just a little bit out of the way, and if I could change this mouse up a little bit, I would move the gesture button a little bit higher so it would be easier for my thumb to reach the gesture button. On the bottom of the MX3, we have a few buttons down here. So of course we have an on and off switch button here. We have a sensor which pretty much works on all surfaces, including glass, which is really nice. So if you're always on the go, no matter what surface you put it on, most likely this mouse is going to work out for you. And at the bottom of the mouse, we have the device connectors. You can connect up to 3 devices with this mouse, which is really nice if you have multiple computers. Maybe you're streaming on one and then actually working on another. And that's really handy. You don't have to have multiple mice laying around. You can just use one mouse to use up to 3 computers. Really cool stuff for multitasking and improving that workflow. The mouse does work on Mac, Windows, and Linux, so you shouldn't have any issues with connecting this mouse to any devices. You can connect the mouse to a computer using the USB dongle, wireless Bluetooth, or the cable that's included in the packaging. And the cool thing about using the cable is you can actually use the mouse while it's charging to ensure that you don't run out of battery. And speaking of the battery, this thing has some really quick charging times. Logitech says that you can charge this thing for 1 minute and it'll last for up to 3 hours, which is super duper duper quick. And if you charge the mouse to 100%, that'll ensure that you can use the mouse for up to 70 days, which means you can take this thing on trips without having to worry about keeping it charged. Now in terms of features, there's a few things you could do with this mouse. One of the features Logitech has is called Logitech Flow. So Flow lets you copy text or images from one computer and paste it on another computer. So if you have 2 computers connected to this mouse, you can easily transfer data from one to the other, which is really handy for increasing that productivity and making your workflow a lot smoother and easy. And how I personally like to use the mouse is with the gesture keys here. I can do things like open my Mac windows and switch between tabs, which I find really handy, and it helps speed up my workflow. Another thing I like to do is use the scroll bar on the side of the mouse, which helps me pan around in Final Cut Pro to make editing videos a lot quicker and easier. So my favorite thing with this mouse is definitely the build quality. I love the aesthetics of this thing, the grip. Overall, it's a solid mouse, and I'm just in a really good mood when I put this thing in my hand, and it's like, it just makes me happy. So that, it definitely gives off that effect. You know you're holding a high quality mouse when you put the MX3 in your hand. Of course, with a premium product also comes a premium price tag. This thing goes for $100, which is pretty expensive for a mouse. So if you're looking for an upgrade and you want something nice and high quality, very versatile, then get this thing. If you're interested in picking up the MX3 right here, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description below on where you guys can go pick this thing up. If you're new to my channel, I make a lot of tech videos, so if you want to stay up to date on what's happening in the tech world, hit that subscribe button. Alright, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and leave your comments down below. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.